Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Minash. This is the weekend edition where we interview notable people from the world of real estate investing. Today is no exception. We have a great guest. He's a repeat guest. He's none other than Mr. George Ross. George has had a storied career in the world of real estate. He built a major law firm in New York City, which he grew to over 100 lawyers. He worked for Goldman and DiLorenzo for 10 years, and he also worked for Mr. Trump for 47 years. He taught negotiation at the law school at NYU for over 20 years. And on today's show, we're talking about negotiation. Listen to my conversation with George Ross. Good evening, George. I think you are still muted.
Hello.
Hey, George. How are you?
I'm good. Everything good?
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me okay?
Can hear you perfectly.
Wonderful.
Sorry again to hear about the loss of your daughter.
Yeah, that's so it goes. That's life.
Yep.
But thank you anyway. Thanks for the good wishes.
Well, we've been doing this now since 2010.
Yeah. How about that?
Isn't that amazing? But, why don't we dive right in? Let's start with negotiation, of course, something that near and dear to your heart. One of the things that we're seeing playing out in the news, certainly heard about it in the past, actually got to know an architect who had done some work for Donald. And it seems that often Donald appears to reopen negotiation. I don't know if that's just perception or if it's reality. And so really the question is, what's the reason for doing that? When is a deal a deal? When is the negotiation over? Walk us through that thought process, because you certainly would know the playbook.
Well, it's a good question, but somebody has to control the negotiation, whoever that is, and however they're getting the degree of control. That's the name of the game. Somebody controls. Somebody tells you this is what we're going to do, and has the financial capacity or whatever is required in order to get it through. So there's only one captain to the ship, and whoever that is, that's controls you have to explain what you're doing and then why you're doing it, but ultimately the decision belongs to one person or one group.
What you're describing is a power imbalance.
Correct. Exactly right. At that point, there's an old statement: "Don't let the inmates run the asylum." That's important.
If I think about, for example, someone that's looking to work, and I don't want to necessarily focus on Donald because I want to make it about negotiation, but U.S.-Canada, Mexico agreement, yes, the U.S. is bigger than the other two, so there's an imbalance in that sense, but they're all sovereign nations.
Yeah.
Right? So are the two smaller countries simply to bow to what the White House says? Walk us through the thought process.
Well, it depends on the nature of the negotiation and the nature of what you're talking about. But the one that has the maximum leverage with money or dollars or what they're doing is the one that's going to win. You have to recognize that you got to keep them happy ultimately, otherwise you don't have a deal. So it's technical negotiation with one. But the one that has the most power, either more money or needs the deal worse, is the one that's going to be successful.
Okay, so you negotiate, you have a deal, you think you're at a point where you've got stability, and then the deal gets somehow reopened.
Well, who opened it? Who reopened it?
The person in the power position.
Well, not. But do they have the right to do that? In other words, you say, why are you doing it? We have a deal. It's important. It's imperative for us to get it started and rolling as fast as we can. Explain why you want to get in the way. And you may have a problem. They can't give you a real good explanation. Every deal, every transaction, Victor, gets a certain momentum along the way. It gets the momentum it never got started, or it did just start, but slowing down, or it's moving along quickly, whatever it is. You have to cater to that momentum. And if the key element of any transaction is the timing. How does it fit with the timing? It's the timing you get from the government, or the timing you get from your partner, or the timing. Somebody dictates the pace at which the negotiation or the transaction gets done. That's the person that you got to talk to, or the group that you got to talk to. He either controls the purse strings or the money controls the deal. Because if they say, I'm not doing it, what are you going to do? Where do you go from there? I agreed to put up the money, but I changed my mind. You got to find out why they changed their mind and work from that. You work from the existing position, not what the old position was. You can find out what it was or say, why are we doing this? It's too late. It's really out too late, and explain why the position they're taking is not the one that to really be done, and it's going to slow down the whole thing. And usually, if you can say, hey, this is going to cost a lot of money to the transaction or cost a lot of money to me, why should we do it? And let them explain why they're throwing a monkey wrench into the machinery at this point. Somebody controls every transaction and makes the ultimate decision.
So does that mean that as a party you should go into a negotiation where there is a power imbalance very carefully because you don't have the leverage?
No, I wouldn't say that. It depends on who controls what. When you say a power balance, what's the power balance? Is it the question that either we put up the money or the deal doesn't get done? Who ultimately makes the decision, and how important or irrevocable is the decision that is to be made? There's some captain to the ship. That person, whoever or group, whoever it is the one that you have to work with and be amenable. Otherwise, you don't get it. Nothing gets done. But we're talking basically in intangibles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's make me happy, put you. And what does it take to make you? And very often that's the way to go. Hey, what do you really want to the other side? What do you want? And find out what they have in mind and explore that. And if you can satisfy what they have in mind, or at least find out what they have in mind and work within the perimeter, you'll be successful. If you don't, you'll be nothing but fighting. If somebody can throw a monkey wrench into the transaction machinery, they will.
So have you seen negotiations that look like they're about to perhaps even get to the point of litigation and then, in fact, step back from the brink?
Yeah, absolutely. Depends on what you got to lose if you step back. What does a person lose if they take based on the position they take? Is it money? Is it prestige? Is it timing? What is it? How do we get over the impasse?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what I was really trying to get my arms around is once you have a deal and somebody reopens it after you have a deal, how to deal with that situation.
Well, the question is, what are they reopening? How important is the element that you're trying to reopen? Is there a way around it? It depends on the nature of the discussion or what the impasse is, to see whether it's minor or major. And if it's minor, you can figure out how to do it. If it's major, it's a different problem, because if it's major, it stops the whole deal or slows it down, or the parties are not in line and not agreeing to it. So at some point, you have to make a decision. How important is what they're asking? Does it kill the whole deal, or can we work around it? If it kills the whole deal, that's one situation. Then you got to say, what do I do now to make a new deal? I can't work with you. If it doesn't, but it just is a situation where they're modifying the deal or trying to get a better edge than what they had before, then you can work around it by getting back to the basics. And the basics is every transaction, what it is, has a time frame. May it be a week, a month, a year, whatever it is. You got to work within that time frame. And if you can convince the other side that not working within the time frame costs money and jeopardizes the deal that they're going to relate to. Nobody likes to lose money.
Fair enough. I love what George had to say there. Such wisdom in his 97 years of experience. I so appreciate and cherish every moment we get to spend with George. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your weekend. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.